Okay, the stream is going. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons!
Yay! I am Christiana Ellis. I am the Dungeon Master. We have our full roster of players tonight, and that includes Vivid Muse as Amethyst.
Hi.
Mark Kilfoyle as Alaric Copperbeard.
I don't trust dragons.
James Meltzer as Ket of the Sands.
How you doing, hosers?
Jenny Meltzer as Cadence of the Water.
Hello.
Starla Hutchton as Nirakina Ethu.
Greetings and salutations.
And Chooch Schubert, hopefully able to talk as Otterkey.
Hello.
Still traveling on his way.
Still traveling.
So, last week, before I get into that, I'm noticing that my music thing has stopped playing music, and now it's just playing ship noises.
Oh my god.
Because it's a dragon ship, clearly.
Yeah.
Good dragon ship
All right.
lollipop.
Weirdest
fine.
pit I've ever been in.
I heard a little kid. So the last week we were down a player and decided to spontaneously have a level 14 battle royale with everybody, without Amethyst, of course, but everyone else competed for glory, and the winner was none other than Ket of the Sands.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Although it would have been Amethyst if she was there, right? Smarta Master.
Oh,
Ooh, is this trash talk that I was not aware of?
I know. Same.
Oh, he was just in the Twitch chat last week, mouthing off. I just gotta put him in his place. No, I'm just teasing him.
It was really fun to listen to, though.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
But this week, because we have everybody, we are resuming the campaign proper with some big things afoot. You all, the heroes of legend, had made your way to the Lorenz Desert, hoping to reach Emerald Arboris, the mythical emerald tree that spanned all of the different worlds, but what was known already was some mixed information and some confusing signals. People said that the tree was dead. People said that it had never existed or been destroyed or killed somehow. But all that Ket and Cadence knew is that they used to be able to travel along its branches between the planes, and then that kind of stopped working, and then they got petrified for probably a few thousand years, so anything could have happened between now and then. But you made your way through. You made your way past some magical obstacles, which included a giant blob that stole all your memories. Everyone except Otterkey, of course, who had his own brief excursion through some of the other outer planes. And you were told that the dragon at the center of this strange illusion would have the answers to your questions. And once you made your way through this illusion, you saw that what appeared to be a large spectral version of the tree you were looking for was in fact a giant crater. And as you made your way down into this crater, when you all took a long rest, everyone except Otterkey and Melicanth completed their long rest, because there was a discovery that perhaps this dragon is able to learn your secrets, because you all experienced dreams wherein you shared all your secrets with a mysterious individual and awoke alarmed. But then as you made your way in, fought off some scavengers, a voice contacted you telepathically, said that you were welcome to come in to begin bargaining for its secrets. It warned you that there was this magic threshold that would prevent any magic that created pocket dimensions from entering without disaster. And so the decision was made that Feathercrest and Melicanth, your companions, would remain outside, holding on to the bags of holding, the portable hole, and of course Melicanth holding on to the iron flask and the her magical hidden pocket, which conceals the stolen moment itself. And the rest of you made your way down further into the crater, where you encountered an enormous dragon covered with amethyst-like crystals. It seems unlikely to be a coincidence, given that it says Amethyst had been there once before, and the reason she didn't remember was because that was the price she paid for the deal she struck the last time. And so, we resume tonight as the dragon offers to make a deal. So, you are each in this enormous cavern, and ahead of you is this dragon, 35 feet tall, covered with these strange crystals, tentacles where its wings would be on a regular dragon. And around you, there are various strange colored blobs of energy drifting in random patterns across the space above you. And behind the dragon, an enormous sphere of magical darkness. And so the dragon says, "Perhaps we should begin by establishing some ground rules."
Name
Sounds
your rules, dragon.
What I bargain with is secrets, and I value them highly. And so any attempt from anyone in your party to discover these secrets outside the bounds of our arrangement will be viewed as theft and dealt with accordingly.
Do we look like thieves?
Well, wait, are you saying that if somebody wants to like read your mind or something to steal your secrets, that will be construed as an act of aggression?
Yes, although
Okay, but
I doubt
you're-
you would be successful at any rate.
No, I agree. You're a very wise and powerful dragon. But what if, like, after we leave here, and we're gone far away from here and far away from you, and we're like trying to dig up information or something like that? Do you see that as an act of aggression that you'll come after us? Or are we just talking about in our little circle right now?
I'm talking about here and now.
Okay, just
Any
wanted to get
attempt
that
to
clear.
penetrate the darkness behind me, to magically discern what is hidden here. What you
I
do
find it-
elsewhere in the world is your own business.
I find it hard to agree to this rule, given that you've already violated it yourself.
The rule is for you. I am the one with secrets to sell. You are the ones trying to buy.
Stolen secrets, no less.
As you like.
Just trying to establish where your thievery lies and where ours doesn't.
Oh, this is not a good way to start our bargain.
I call
Yeah.
it is.
I am the possessor of these secrets now, and how I came to them, you have no way of knowing. So I would encourage you not to accuse thievery.
Did you bargain for our secrets already, or did you steal them? Just trying to establish some base facts here. One slight-handed person to another. That also can color what knowledge you have if you stole it or it was given to you.
Secrets, by their nature, belong to me. If
Odd way
you
to put
wish
it.
to have them as well, then we must bargain.
How do secrets by nature belong to you?
That is a pretty big claim.
It is, and it is fact.
Okay, but could you support that fact with, I don't know, maybe some other facts? Like, how
What
did
would you
become-
offer in exchange for the answer to that question?
I don't like bargaining with someone who's already stolen all my gold.
Yeah, like I think that we've already, given you quite a bit. You took a lot of information from us already through your little friend back there.
And I have allowed you entry into this domain, into my lair, and I have allowed you to see me in person that we might do business in good faith.
Okay.
None of this was required of me, but I have done so out of interest in further bargaining. If you wish to avoid such a bargain, you are free to leave.
Well, that means you need something from us, but you can't take it. That's important.
Does it?
Well, you would have taken it if you could, just like you stole our memories. But since you couldn't, or didn't... After all, if you were really a polite dragon, you may have asked us for our memories first.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so let's say
I
we agree-
have what you want. Do you wish to pay for it or not?
So I have a question, Christian, for the dungeon master. Because of my nature as a cleric, am I able to sense that it is a spirit of some kind?
You
Sisselbeck would be?
You can make a religion check.
Okay. Pretty good at those. And that was let's see. Actually, it wasn't so great. That was only a 14.
It's hard to say because you know that spirits do sometimes take the form of dragons, but there are also actual non-spirit dragons.
Right.
As, living creatures. And also, in some different planes, these boundaries can be blended somewhat. But your impression here is that it does not seem to be a spirit. However, something is unusual about it. For one, you've never heard of a dragon that had gemstones all over its body.
Okay.
or tentacles.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks around and says, I am not interested in discussions of my demeanor. You are in possession of 2 artifacts that are of value sufficient to purchase access to some of my secrets. I know that you came here to learn these things, and so if you wish to learn them, you may buy those secrets. Otherwise, I have nothing to say to you.
You make a lot of claims. How do we know you actually have the information we want?
Now, that's a good question. But
So you don't?
one of the things that I would offer is that you did not come here to see me, but rather you found me where you expected the answers to lie.
I found you in a hole. How the hole got there may have nothing to do with you. You may have just slithered in here, found a nice place to hide.
That does not mean I do not know why the hole is here.
Doesn't mean you do.
It also doesn't mean that knowing why the hole is here would help us. I mean, sure,
I-
I just wanted to go home.
I will tell you if I do or do not know the answer to any given question.
What if I can offer you something even better and bigger than the 2 items we brought with us?
So, as a brief, so I will not step out of character for a moment then, and the dragon will just say, "What are you proposing?"
And I have 2 things that I could give you in exchange for your secrets, or at least some of your secrets. Number 1, what if you yourself had access to a god to call your very own? And number 2, is you seem to be all alone here by yourself. One day you are going to pass away and take your secrets with you. What if you had an heir that you could pass your secrets to, and he could take up your mantle when you are gone from this world?
The former, I assume you are speaking of the iron flask containing the Mistress of the Dark.
That is correct.
And yes, I would definitely be interested in such a thing.
Okay.
The latter I have no care for. My secrets are my own, and I do not care to share them with anyone without a price paid.
Okay, that is fine. Then how about this for number 2? Again, you've been here a long time. You're all alone here. Surely you must require some companionship, at least someone to pass the time with some idle chit-chat, philosophical discussions about the universe and such. It must get quite lonely here.
I have creatures that I eat, and then creatures that clean up the scraps. That is all the companionship I require.
Okay, then forget about number 2 entirely. I was just trying to do you a solid, man, and get you, a mate. But no, okay. What about the first one?
If you are placing the iron flask on the metaphorical table, then yes, that is one of the things that we could do business. It would gain you some information, as would the arm, as would the artifact you call the stolen moment. Any one of those would gain some information. More would gain more.
Now, you have to understand, when we came here, we didn't quite expect to find you, obviously. We are not quite prepared for such, mental decisions right now. Is it possible that we could just step outside for a little bit and discuss this as a group? Because this is a big decision that we have to make. And again, Your Excellency, we came here,
It smiles. It liked when you called it Your Excellency. It smiles at that.
We came here thinking that we would find a city, and we found you instead, and we did not expect this. So, surely you can understand that it would take some time. This is a huge decision.
Indeed, and wouldn't it be valuable to you to learn the answer to that mystery? But go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Persuasion? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got a plus 14 on persuasion, guys, so let's hope I get something good. All right, so that's an 11 plus 14, so
25.
25.
I think what it says is 2 of you must remain here while the others go to discuss with your waiting companions.
The 2 that are outside of your little bubble right now, will those 2 suffice?
No, you wish to go discuss with them, correct?
Only
No,
one
no,
of them.
no. We want to discuss this amongst the, ourselves here. They can stay and, watch over the things there. We would just like, as, since we are going to be making this decision together, the heroes of legend would like to go discuss this. Well, those, our two
Discuss
companions.
where?
Oh, we would like to go outside and maybe just sleep on it. Take a bit
Two
of a
of
rest.
you must remain here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll leave that to the group to decide if we want to do that or not. Or if we have anything that we can just go with
I
now.
guarantee their safety so long as they do not violate my predisclosed rule of thievery.
I'll stay.
I was going to suggest that I stay, but then I remembered I can't. So somebody else could stay. Otterkey, why don't you stay?
Yeah, I can certainly stay.
I wasn't sure if you were home yet or not, so I thought this would be easy. I don't know. Do we even want to do that, or do we just want to stay here?
Keep an eye on this feller.
This is
I mean, just to be clear, I'm talking about going and casting the mansion and sleeping and talking for, getting a long rest and then coming back in the morning.
Okay, well, so I think that
Well, yeah, I'm already down a long rest, so then I'd probably get a level of exhaustion.
Well, but
Unless I sleep there with him.
but like, what? If no, never mind. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just asking if we want to do that. If we don't want to do that, we don't have to. I'm just throwing that on the table. We can discuss. We can make our bargain now if we want.
well, so what the dragon is saying is it doesn't want you to just leave.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's saying you can go out and discuss,
Right. Yeah.
but
me too,
as
yeah.
a show of faith that you're not just leaving, it wants two people to remain behind.
Right. Okay.
I can stay behind too.
Yeah, I'll stay.
Now we have 3 people staying behind.
We need some of you to come with us.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm still like. This is something that we want to do. Is this
The
what
dragon
we're
is,
deciding?
by the way, just kind of sat back on its haunches and just kind of
Oh, yeah.
got an amused grin as you have this conversation.
No doubt.
So just, I mean, I just want to remind that when did we have our dreams scanned? Because Archie's
Before we went down in the hole, and Archie
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Mhm.
right. Archie didn't sleep, so it doesn't have Archie's memories, right?
But if he's
Right.
in the Magic
I should-
Mansion, then
I should stay shielded then, yeah.
yeah. In
Mm.
theory.
In theory, yeah,
Is that how it works?
exactly.
Well, it protected Melicanth from like scrying and stuff like
Yeah.
that, didn't it?
Yeah. Although she also has a mind blank spell that she casts on herself to do that.
I was only saying that because I think it makes more sense for Archie to stay since he hasn't slept yet, doesn't have his secrets. That's kind of a negotiating point.
I think Amethyst should stay behind with Nira. Because if there's a chance Archie can retain his memories, that's the chance that he's got.
If he takes a long rest.
Yeah, in the Magic Mansion.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But if he stays here and doesn't take a long rest, he doesn't sleep.
That's why I'm saying you should stay instead of Archie.
Because Archie would be in the mansion and protected, we hope.
Well, this dragon clearly has a thing about pocket dimensions, and that's what the mansion is, basically. So,
Whatever y'all want.
what do you think, Alaric?
We had our other items. They were okay.
I think any chance we might have to have a private discussion would be better.
Well, you guys need to make a decision. Or perhaps you do not need to leave at all. I grow weary of watching you dither.
Okay. Well, oh. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go. I'm going to cast the mansion. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to stay here. And then my friends will go and discuss this, and whoever wants to stay with me can. I am like tip-top health, and I got pretty good spell slots, so I'm okay. I will just sleep here for the night. You all sleep in the mansion, and somebody can stay here with me.
I'm just
I
checking
already
the,
said I'm staying, so we got two.
Okay. Okay, so Amethyst, you go get a nice rest. Wink, wink. Archie, you go get a nice rest. Cadence, Alaric, you go get a nice rest. And me and Nira will hold down the fort here.
Okay.
Works for me.
Okay.
We'll probably want to take shifts just to see if someone sticks their head out the door and hears something screaming or on fire.
Yeah, that's fine. I will go, and I will go out.
All right.
And, okay,
So
Dragon.
As you're starting to go up there, for one, it will just say, "I have agreed to this, but you should not, for a moment, think that I am not aware of the reason for your desire of a rest. But I am allowing this out of good faith. Also, I know that you and your companion Melicanth will be extremely reluctant to part with the stolen moment. But I would urge, you have had discussions amongst yourselves about the safest place to hold such an artifact. And I would suggest that it would be far safer with me than with any of you.
Yeah, right until the end of time, sadly.
If you wished to come back and make another deal for it, that would be a discussion for a future occasion."
Think about that one, guys. I go and I cast Dimension.
All right, you leaving this magical threshold area?
Yes, I'm leaving the magical threshold.
All right, so yeah, it's kind of a hike back up the around the crater thing, so it's not trivial, but we don't have to belabor you taking
Right,
20
yeah.
minutes to walk back up there. So you go up, and Feathercrest and Melicanth are right there by kind of outside the threshold.
Mhm.
So you come out, and Melicanth.
You go with them. You go with them to the mansion.
Wait, what?
I'll let the others fill you in on what the dragon wants.
Oh, yes.
Go-
of course.
It's story time.
Okay, so they go into the mansion.
Okay.
All right. And so Ket comes back, and so who is it that's staying after all that?
Me and Nira.
Okay. All right. So then, let's go ahead and follow everyone going into the mansion first. Then.
Before I leave, I do want to turn to Nirkina and just say, please don't do anything rash.
I don't know
This
what
could
you're
all
talking
end
about.
this could all end very, very badly.
No, it wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, but it might be the last, and that's the more important part.
Are you saying you'd miss me?
Just don't do anything.
Just
Just don't
pat
do
him on the
anything.
head, and I'm gonna find a spot near the wall. No faith in me, seriously.
Or too much. All right.
So those of you going up and heading into the mansion, Melicanth then is there eagerly waiting for you all. Well,
Yeah. So the dragon wants the stolen moment and the lark's arm, just like we thought.
of course.
He also wants the god in a bottle. He
Well,
claims that is like the least thing that he wants, and the other two things are the primary things he wants.
well, if it is in fact something that values secrets above all, knowing the location of a powerful artifact would be a secret to any who did not know that location.
That's
Yeah.
just it, though. It values secrets above all. These things are baubles to it. It's not going to put the arm on. It's not going to take the stolen moment for a joyride. It's not going to, well, okay, it might let the goddess out for fun, I suppose, but or bind it into service like it did that other creature outside. Those are what we value. I don't think it cares one bit about them, really.
But
Other than,
do not think of secrets simply as information in the abstract. It could be, for example, that it wants the stolen moment because it is an object of extreme importance, and if it were to possess it, then it alone, perhaps, would be the only one knowing where it is. Even if we were to give it any of the things that it is asking for, we don't know what it would do with them after we left. It
Well,
would
it
then
says that
become
we
the
could-
only one who knows where it is.
It says that we could come back and bargain for it if we needed it, but I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, we kind of need it now to stop, like, the end of everything. So I don't think that.
And yet, it's... She looks kind of hesitant, but then I think she just looks around to the rest of you and...
don't tell us where it is, and just take it from our minds anyway. Keep that to yourself.
What I was going to ask is, do you think that there are perhaps other means by which you could discover its secrets? By which I mean to say, how strong was it?
It was pretty tough.
It's got
It
a
is
brave
an ancient
face.
dragon. It has weird crystals on its skin, like
Silent.
amethyst type stones and weird like tentacles. It's not like any dragon I've ever heard of, and I've heard of a lot of dragons.
She looks surprised and is thinking about that, and she's just saying, no known living species of dragon has crystals of the type you describe. It clearly has acquired them somehow, but I don't believe they can be natural.
It also said that Amethyst was here before, and it stole her memories when she left because that was the deal that they made.
I think it did see it as an exchange. I don't know if we were violated like we were, but
Well, if anything, the creature back at the oasis was able to appear as Amethyst, but different. I think that it does stand to reason that it's possible that it's telling the truth about this.
But what did you get in exchange, Amethyst? Would you have any idea what that might be?
Really not.
I think, yeah,
really.
Melicanth just kind of jumps in and says,
Clue.
it would seem to me, if it wishes secrecy above all, that being willing to do something of great import and leave the dragon the only one who knows it would be a form of payment to this dragon.
Yeah, and see, therein lies the problem because the dragon says, "Oh yeah, you could come back and get it if you need it," but we give him the thing, and then all of a sudden we don't remember that we were ever here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melicanth is thinking about this, and she kind of looks around to all of you and just to say, I would be very hesitant to risk any of us in a fight that might be too much for us, but it would seem that this dragon, no matter what deal we made, would have significant incentive to leave us unable to share any of its secrets with anyone else.
I don't even know if it's a dragon. It let us see it. If it wants secrets so badly, why let us see it at all? Unless what we saw wasn't even it. I'm more interested in that cloud or shadow behind it. Something's there. Something's important. Something it doesn't want us to see.
Well, as you say, it seems as though it is asking for admission to be paid for.
Yeah, it said that's where its secrets were, basically.
Yeah.
Which could clearly be a lie.
Or it could be a little tiny man behind the curtain.
Or gnome.
Maybe. I mean, you know how gnomes are. They're very ingenious.
They're brilliant.
Exactly. Maybe this dragon is not very powerful at all. I mean, it probably is, but...
Melicanth says, well, it seems to me that if there is to be any discussion of bargaining with it, we would need to determine what it is that we need to know, and whether or not any of the 3 items it has asked for are worth that information. Otherwise, I don't know that leaving here without any of the information we came looking for is a feasible option. Unless we just plan to abandon the idea that the Emirate Arborist offers us any useful options and simply return to performing the ritual that we had planned originally.
It would know things of the past. Would it know things of the future? Like, would it know what to do with this damn moment? Whether to put it back or whether to destroy it or anything.
I don't know.
Is that something we can ask it?
Yeah,
You
but
asked
you would
it.
have to pay for it. But we only have so much to bargain with.
It did
you know?
say it would tell you whether or not it knows the answer to any question.
I think what it meant was whether or not it was willing to answer the question, too.
Yeah.
Even if it knows, it would probably say no, or it could say no. So what information is willing to give? Knowing what happened to this tree thing, how does that get us further? Amethyst, you saw the tree, so it exists somehow, but just not here.
Well, you saw me because of the tree. The only reason I got to you guys was because of the tree. So, I mean, I can't offer you a branch from it or anything as proof, but like I don't know how else I would have gotten to you so immediately if there wasn't something
I
that
believe you.
directed me along that path. So there's something still there.
This tree thing, it supposedly touches everywhere or every plane. It is
Yes.
everywhere. Is that it?
It did. We don't know now. That's one of the things that would be useful to know.
So wait, does it even matter if it's not here because it's everywhere?
I still wonder if we could
No.
travel to the tree. Like, Amethyst, you said you have magic that could... Like, if you've seen a tree, you could travel from one tree to another.
If I've touched a tree, then I could potentially get to it. But again, the thing that we keep covering is that we don't know what's going to happen because it's not like I show up next to the tree. We could all try. I could cast the spell. We could walk up to a tree, travel through it, and be at the other tree. But we come out from within it. and we don't know what is going on inside that tree.
What if
So it could kill us, it could harm us, it might do nothing.
what
It
if
might-
it knows the secret of the tree? Maybe it knows how to travel through the tree.
Well, that's one of the things that I was hoping to find out is the tree still in existence? If it's not, can we restore it? You know.
Because if we could travel anywhere,
Well, I
with the
mean, it's
tree.
not just us. It's like their whole society, pointing at Ket and Cadence, their whole society and existence changed.
yeah,
You know, it's more than just a travel power.
it was.
It's a huge deal. And because it's a tree, it's something I really got to try and fix, guys. Not just for Ket and Cadence, but yo, I'm a druid. This is my thing.
I have come to, for a really long time, well, not even very long, because I don't know how long we were, petrified, but for several years, I wanted to go home because I'd left. And now that I can't get back, that is like the only thing driving me to get home. I want to know what happened to my people, to my city, to my tree. But that stuff is not as important as fixing whatever is wrong with everything.
Well,
Would your people help us?
My people, I don't know. My people are probably long dead.
Malakath says, remember too that the threat that we face is that the multiverse has been destabilized. But what the tree did was permeate everything. It's somewhat like a more mundane tree. As it extends its roots through the ground, it holds the soil in place. It affixes soil, keeps it from washing away. If the tree performed some sort of stabilizing action and now it has been removed, then it at least seems connected to the threat we face, if not
Exactly.
causal, or it is something that, to be sure, simply replacing the stolen moment and attempting to defeat the Demon Lord. It is one path, but if there is more to know, I would like to know it before attempting something so dangerous.
So what if we offer or ask if there's any secrets that it wants us to gather for it?
Like
Is there
we were
anything
going
that-
through-
Yeah, are there any mysteries? Are there any things that you want to know that you don't know? Is there a question that hasn't been answered for you? Like, what do we have besides the physical items? Because the things that it keeps talking about is secrets and having the secrets and no one else having the secrets. And I don't know if it matters at all about reputation. That's one thing I thought we could offer, is just to spread the word far and wide about this amazing neocortex that knows all the secrets and grow its renown. But it didn't even sound interested in that. It doesn't want a companion to brag to
No.
or patronize him and make him feel, all knowledgeable.
He wants to die with his secrets,
Right.
so that they are kept forever.
Yeah. So is there some secret that it wants that we may or may not be able to get?
That is a good idea.
Does it know what it doesn't know?
Well, with all the secrets that it does have, you never get a full story. There's always some dangling thread, right?
And it eats all those people's memories that come here.
Yeah,
So I'm sure that there are things that it would want to know more about.
exactly. Because it only gets what that person knew.
And Malakanth says, and remember that a secret could be more than simply knowing the truth of a thing. If something happens or is done in its name that no one else knows but is of great importance, that might be also something that it would consider valuable. For example, didn't it describe the deal that it made with Amethyst? It said that loss of your memories was the price, but the price was the memory of what you did there.
Yeah, I'm kind
Price
of
for
nervous.
what?
I'm nervous about that whole "what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas" aspect. What the heck did I do? You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You wanted some of your credit card records erased, and the fact that you can't remember what it gave you can mean that it gave you nothing at all.
True.
That is my fear, that we do what it wants and it, uses whatever powers it has to take away our
It has-
memories.
It has a double standard when it comes to theft of ideas. It doesn't see itself as violating that rule,
Right.
only everyone else.
Is there some way we can monetize, the deed of restoring the stolen moment and like
If perhaps it were to be the only one to know that it
that
happened.
it ever happened?
Yeah.
That
I don't
could
even-
work.
I mean, I don't even know what's going to happen at that point. No one might know.
It knows that.
Sure.
It read our minds. It knows that we don't. You know what I mean?
But
So
if we
it's something
change
that-
the past, does it not change everything after it?
We will never know.
I
But if we
suspect
could
that
seek it out,
knowledge
Right.
of such an event would be something that it would hold valuable, but I would also urge caution that anything that we also know would make us, therefore, the thing that keeps it secret from being even more valuable. If the
Right.
only beings that know a thing are the dragon and us, then eliminating us would make it the only one that knows.
Hey, if I get to save the multiverse and then go back to a stupid life not knowing about any of this stuff, I'm happy with that deal.
Maybe that's what Amethyst said the first time.
On a previous
Right.
iteration.
Right.
Now I almost wish we had something to bargain for to find out what happened to Amethyst.
I know.
We could. That is one of the things we could ask for, is the restoration of those memories in exchange
It
for
may
something.
not be unrelated. In fact, it seems very likely to be related. I can't imagine it being altogether a coincidence.
Yeah.
Did it name you Amethyst?
We'll have to ask him.
Maybe. I just don't think that we should give things up easily, but at the same time, the dragon doesn't seem very patient while we dither around trying to figure out what we want to do.
So then it's asking for objects because it knows all of our secrets. We need the objects because we're, going to fight a demon lord, Lord willing. And I'm nervous about handing over, any of those items. I don't want to hand over the flask with the goddess in it. I don't want to hand over Alaric's arm, which seems to be primarily beneficial other than Rajama.
It was related to the tree. So, I mean, giving him the arm, that seems so silly to me because then, the information that we need about the tree, I mean, what if Alaric's arm is the only thing that could protect the tree further from destruction?
I don't want to give that up either. And I definitely don't want to give up the stolen moment. I'm still not thrilled that one of us isn't holding it. But I mean, obviously Melicant, nothing personal. It's just that we've become very intimately involved with each other. So the trust has been easier. I trust you now. I trust it in your hands more than anybody else's right now. You've kept it safe from any kind of harm. And for that, I want to thank you because, I was hesitant for, pretty much up until right now.
Thank you, Amethyst. It is something that has been a burden, to be sure. I do thank you for your trust, and I spoke with Cadence about this as well. I have been reluctant to surrender it to anyone else because I don't know where else it can be safer than in my possession.
I see that
Because
now.
If there is a safer place, I would be interested in hearing about it.
Yeah.
The dragon says it would be safe here, but I don't think that's true. Dragons are known liars.
Well, but
Even if it's safe here, we still need it later, probably.
Exactly. And then what do we have to bargain with?
more secrets, we got to go out and do some more stuff and come up with some more secrets for it.
I mean, if you don't want to give him the arm now, we can always come back and give it later if that would be enough. I don't know if it would be.
I
There
have
may
a
be some
feeling-
secret it really wants above others that it could, you know, if we could go obtain something for it, that maybe that would be worth it to it. Although that would be a significant delay, I would imagine.
Give
I-
it Zorath. I'm sure he's got a few things he's trying to
I
hide.
was thinking the same thing.
Or Jinxie.
I had a
know
dream. I
Jinxie.
had this gate stone. If I had it in my hand right now, I could bring Zorath here and give him right to that dragon.
Good thing Nair's not here to hear you say that.
Melicanth says, I'm honestly find myself somewhat tempted in its offer if it could be trusted. It, to be sure, keeps this place very secretive. I mean, together we are powerful, and yet we hesitate to fight such a creature, and it took no little effort to reach even this point. If it were to simply keep the stolen moment hidden, that could be a safe place for it, but we would have to pay something to retrieve it later. But as much as I have been trying to keep it safe, it is nonetheless true that if I were to fall in battle, it would be lost to us, to be found by anyone.
Well, we know of one person in particular who's looking for it. And I'd kind of want to tell Zorath to go take it for himself. That battle would be interesting.
But then what if we leave here and we don't remember? I mean, that's my fear. Like, so say we decide to give him the stolen moment because it would be safe here, but then he's like, okay, but I need your memories.
Gotta admit, there are times when it would be kind of nice to not remember any of this. Just walk away and not know anything until the end just comes. But I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, we just need a clear agreement.
Melicanth
Melicanth.
said, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, you know, can you get away quickly with Feathercrest if we don't come out? If you sense a need.
I
To get away.
have reserved a magical teleport spell that I
Okay.
could cast at a moment's notice if necessary.
You have the stolen moment, and it's safest with you. And I think that's how it needs to stand until we're convinced that we'll have something in the future to trade to get it back with. You know, like whatever this big nugget might be or may not exist. We may not ever. It already, if I remember correctly, it already said that it would be fine with the world ending, because then it would know that it's the last one to know its secrets and nobody found them out. Like, that's hardcore, you guys.
Yeah, it doesn't care.
It
So I
did
think-
also say that the reason it doesn't fear death is because death without the universe ending would mean that its secrets remain for others to find.
Yeah.
So that makes me not want to give it the stolen moment because
See?
it doesn't care. I mean, it would be the perfect way to protect its secrets.
I mean, unless this is a long con where it could take all of our memories at any time and it didn't have to wait while we were sleeping. It just really wants to get stolen. Melicanth, the only way to get it is us handing it over. I mean, I don't think that that's possible. I think that we need to keep Melicanth and the stolen moment safe. So staying out here, presumably Melicanth is safe, especially inside the mansion. Yeah, I just don't know that we'll ever have anything good enough to get it back. So that's something I feel like we really can't negotiate with.
That leaves us with the flask and the arm. You're going to need the flask.
Well,
I can live without the arm.
But what if we really can't live without your arm? I know it's like your arm right now, it's attached to your arm, but it is part of something so much greater than just you and your arm.
right.
And Melican says the maddening thing about it is that to know its true value, we would have to know more about what it is, and yet that is the very information we would be buying with it.
Yeah. And as far as the flask goes, if I remember the magic cast, after an hour, the chicky-doo that's in there is going to be able to come back to us. Isn't it only compelled for an hour after it's released?
It is compelled for an hour after it's released, and then if it is not ordered to go back in the bottle, it is free to do as it likes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be pretty mad at us if it doesn't go back in the bottle.
So
Yeah.
pissed.
There's another thing we can bargain with, which has already been demonstrated to work.
Or we could just unleash her and be like, go and kill this guy. What if he...
You'll
Your
just
arm,
lose
like,
all the
moved?
information. But
Yeah.
we can. There's another thing. When I think of all of you, I can offer it. Same thing that Amethyst offered. Turn me into an empty shell. No memories at all. I've already given up my name for the most part anyway.
So it would be the only one that remembers your own personal secrets.
It would be the only one who knew who I truly am, yes.
That
But
seems
as you've
pretty
demonstrated, you can
But
still be
if
someone.
If the rest of us still know, though,
Yeah.
You wouldn't necessarily know my past or who I'm connected to.
Oh,
I'd be a
wait.
hireling. Or something like that.
But
No,
we
didn't
would...
we tell
we
each
could dig
other?
into you. Yeah.
What?
Didn't we? Wasn't there some way that we all told each other all of our secrets? So right now we all know each other's secrets except for Archie. Did that happen, or am I remembering that
no,
wrong?
so the dreams that you had coming in, except for Archie and Melicanth, you had a dream where at a banquet you told a mysterious stranger all your secrets. And that each of you did that, but it wasn't sharing it.
Actually sharing it.
Yeah, so you each perceived being in a group at a big banquet, but what you each remember is telling your own secrets, not hearing everybody else's.
Right. And like the problem with what you're saying, Alaric, we still know you and we know enough about you that we could leave this place and then go and find out your history.
That would be gone too. That would be gone too. You don't need to know who I am.
But I'm not giving up parts of my memory just so you could give up yours. I mean, my who
impact
knows?
on your memory is pretty light, I suspect.
That's what you think. You don't know.
I've
You
got a
don't
good
know.
Suspicion.
And I don't think, like, if he's going in there and taking your memories, and then he's like, well, while I'm in there, I have to take memories from these people so they don't remember you. I mean, then you're just letting him in to do whatever he wants. What if he comes in and takes other things from people?
Amethyst is still Amethyst. Amethyst is still a druid. People know her, but they don't know where she came from or
What
who her
if-
past is.
What if Amethyst used to be a warlock or something? Or, like, a thief? We don't know.
Then she can still achieve greatness without those memories.
Well,
No, I can
Melicanth
help you.
interrupts with just to say, this is a lot of discussion about a hypothetical that we don't even know if the dragon would be interested.
That's true.
Yeah.
But it's still something we can offer. We can try.
Yeah, we need to have a solid offer. I gotta have everything, plan A, plan B, plan C. So
But
when we
hit
get
points.
there,
Melicanth says, well, if
we can
nothing
get to
else,
business.
if we have secrets to offer, perhaps we should start knowing that it was unable to read autarkies. If we wanted to make some preliminary offer, that is something we also have. It was not able to take them from autarky the way it did the rest of us.
If you're willing to share them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave you guys there, and let's go back and deal with Nira and Ket hanging out with the dragon, as everyone else has left, presumably for the night.
All right, Nira. So, like, I'm not going to lie. This could be our very last night together on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Just pointing that out, man. No, but seriously, where's the dragon in relation to us?
Well, so the layout of this area, recall that this is an enormous crater. It's very big along the bottom. And so the road up to where that magical sort of threshold bubble was is kind of along the outside of this crater, and it's up a ways. It's like a 20-minute walk from the bottom.
Okay.
So depending on where you guys are having this conversation,
Right. Okay.
so at the bottom of the path, towards the center of the crater, you see the enormous bubble of magical darkness, and the dragon had emerged from that,
Right.
facing you. So
what do you think about all this now? You think the dragon actually has anything like worthwhile?
I think it has things that are worthwhile to it.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is important to you. Finding your home, finding out what happened. I will admit to not being fully invested in this particular little quest, but I know what it means to you and to Cadence. I don't necessarily want to give it what it wants, but it's not fully my decision.
I don't want to give up anything we have, to be honest with you. I mean, earlier I was just trying to keep it talking, you know? I mean, I don't care about finding it a mate, or I certainly don't want to give it the flask, and I don't want to give it the Lark's arm.
where did you guys decide you were having this conversation?
Oh, I decided I was going to go and sit over by the wall. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, this was like before we
I mean-
get back in the bubble.
All right.
I thought we were in the bubble. Like, because
No.
in I mean, it's already read all our thoughts and knows all this stuff. So, like,
I'm just trying to
It's not
make
really
sure
like
you guys
anything to
don't
hide.
have an expectation of privacy or anything.
no, I don't.
Okay.
And to be clear, I mean, the dragon knows our memories. It doesn't know our present, or, you know, if we talk about something right now, the dragon isn't going to see that as one of our memories, because it only has our memories from the point that it stole our memories from. I don't think it can keep sucking memories.
I am very curious about this dragon.
I can, however, hear you.
How you doing? You want? Are you hungry?
I'm fine, thanks.
If there's anything His Excellency needs, please do not hesitate.
Let's see. So, how far away, like, are we? Like,
You
I don't
guys tell me
necessarily-
where you're having the conversation. So, I
Well-
mean, if you walk down this like 20-minute walk down back to the crater floor, you could probably walk like about 150 feet over to the edge of the darkness, but you would get to the dragon before that, and so you know, that's where you encountered it before.
Is it possible to have a conversation out of earshot of the dragon?
It was talking to you telepathically before you came into the bubble, so.
Okay, all right. So that's a no. So retcon everything I just said.
Okay. Well, that's why I asked for clarification,
Yeah,
because
I
I
know,
wanted
okay,
to make
all
sure
right.
you guys didn't think that you're, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so
that changes things. So Nira, how you doing? Quite the pickle that we found ourselves in.
it usually is.
Hmm.
All right. I want to look at the dragon some more.
Yeah, let's go look at His Excellency. He seems to like
Alright.
flattery. Yeah, we'll go look at the dragon and just,
Okay.
be like, you are, those amethyst crystals on you, they are so beautiful, Your Excellency. How did you come to amass such a glorious armor?
That is an excellent story, which I will share with you once you have paid for it.
That's fair, no problem. I didn't realize it was a secret. Is everything you know a secret? Like if I asked you, hey man, what did you have for dinner last week? Would you tell me, or would I have to pay for that?
It kind of cocks its head. I suppose that would be dependent on how much I thought I could get. I suspect, however, you would not be actually willing to pay for the knowledge of what I had for dinner.
No, you're right. You're right. There's no fooling you.
I am curious, when you were walking around in our heads, do you have everything? I mean, I used to spend a lot of time reading books, all about the different, histories and different stories my people had. I was just wondering if you came across those as well as information you were more keenly interested in.
As the two of you have chosen to remain, are you interested in a more one-on-one sort of arrangement?
Ooh, that's a question.
What do you mean? I'm not as smart as she is.
I am still interested in the larger bargain that I discussed with all of you. But there are things that you could perhaps pay to learn certain additional details. You have already heard and suspect that I am able to learn things, and I am able to strip memories away. I could tell you more in exchange for some of those memories. Nira, you seem awfully fond of that destructive wave spell. If you give it to me, I will tell you what I can do in gaining secrets telepathically.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh.
That I will give you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And its eyes sort of glitter and it leans in. It is a bargain then. Your knowledge of the destructive wave in exchange for an explanation of my memory obtaining abilities.
Yes.
It is a done then. And all of its amethyst crystals start to flicker in little purple electric bolts kind of, and they're flaring. And you, in your head, Nira, you feel as though it is, the part where you have memorized, the words and the knowledge of the various magic rituals that you perform, you feel them being sorted through. And you find yourself getting flashes of all the different spells you know, and then destructive wave, and you have the memory of the times that you've done it and what you said and how it felt. And then it's gone. You know that you used to be able to cast a spell called Destructive Wave, but you just, like, you can't remember how. And the dragon...
Shiver a little bit. That didn't feel good.
And the dragon grins and says, "See? Not so hard, was it? So, to answer your question, these crystals give me psionic powers, powers of the mind. You are familiar with illusions, yes?
Yes.
Illusions can become, with sufficient intellect and force of will, more than mere illusions. They can become real manifestations. They can be conjured things. They can be effects. They can be auras. I have been in this place long enough that any who sleep within my realm will find themselves opened to me telepathically. The dream you experienced is simply your brain's interpretation of my presence in your mind. And so I know what you know. The secrets you told me in the dream are mine. But further, I also supplement with the memories stolen by the Oblex, which are less discerning.
So when you go through, I remember very well the conversation, but that was it was specifically related to how we got here and what we've done before getting here, but not necessarily our entire lives.
The Oblex knows your entire life, and I am able to pull from that at will. But what I pulled from you is what you remember in the dream. I know your grandmother's name. I know what the tree that you sat in while you were struck by Rushama. I know what that tree looks like. And I know these things because the Oblex knows them. And the Oblex knows them because it stole your memories.
Well, then you also know with me that I'm sort of a 2-for-1 deal.
Yes. Very interesting.
Those crystals are really pretty.
Yes, I think so too. You can have that for free. So how about you, Ket? Would you care to ask a question in exchange for one of your spells?
No, thank you. But I appreciate the offer.
Just mechanically, that's a bigger giveaway for a bard than a cleric.
Yeah. It was like, of all the spells you could have asked for, it was like, okay, one's not bad. But I guess I'm effectively unable to cast that.
Yep.
So can you change that in D&D Beyond? Because I think that's one of mine that's like always prepared.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that I don't
I mean,
think
I'll
I can
probably just remember.
We'll just
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
It's a memorable event.
Can I ask, Mr. Dragon, before I make a decision as to whether or not I'd like to ask a question, can you tell me which spell of mine you would want?
Well, give me a moment. As give Neocortex a moment as he looks at your character sheet.
You can probe my mind. I will wait.
All right. And I think he says, well, there are many of your spells that I think would be useful, interesting, and I think several of them would be of interest to me. Perhaps that finger of death that you so recently employed against my Oblex. Perhaps the hold monster.
Once more, I appreciate the offer, but I think I would just like to get some rest tonight, and I think I will get some sleep. Feel free to poke around inside my head while I do that, because I honestly got nothing to hide.
Very well.
I am but a humble, simple bard. I just want nothing more than to find out what happened to my home.
That is one of the things that I could tell you. One of the many.
I am aware, but I don't think a simple spell will grant me that information. I think you would require something more powerful for that information.
A spell could give you a simple answer.
No, thank you.
Very well. And it actually withdraws back into that circle of darkness. All right, are you guys?
Is there anything else like around, just like rubble, something to
yes,
poke around in?
Yeah. So basically, what there is in this area is, you realize that big parts of the ground here actually do look like they were once a stone floor. Like the bottom of this crater was once something, but there are places where there might have been walls that are kind of, big, like there's no ceiling to it, but like the ruins of a wall in various places. And there's definitely piles of sort of loose rocks and rubble and so on, but you don't immediately see anything that looks like of interest per se, but you could investigate further if you like.
I will investigate further. I'm kind of curious if there's any kind of, I don't know how old this place is or how degraded it is. Like if there would be any carvings or anything remaining on the walls, or the floor might even have some kind of anything, because we're going to be here for the night. So
Sure. So go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can I assist giving her advantage since I know the place?
Yes. Yeah. And I think, not necessarily because you know the place, but you can assist with the investigation.
Okay.
And I think that, that's fine. Sure.
So with advantage, it's a 14.
Okay. I think what happens is that as you are looking around and poking through and just glancing at stuff, and I assume not going near the bubble of magical darkness?
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
I'm not going.
Yeah, so what happens is that you actually are starting to kind of step over a pile of rubble, and as you do, make a dexterity saving throw.
13.
Okay, hang on. That is actually just what you needed. What happens is a whole bunch of the loose rocks that you were sort of stepping like over and kind of climbing up on this pile, a whole bunch of them have a little eye that opens, and then they skitter away on little tiny legs as like a little clump of creatures that were disguised as rocks.
Oh, that's weird.
And so you almost stumbled and fell down, but fortunately you were.
Kat, have you ever seen anything like that? Do you know creatures like that?
Do I?
Make
I don't know if they would be
make
something
a nature
needed,
check.
so.
Yeah, I don't know if they would be something.
Because it was from here, so might
Something
have.
native. No, that's only an 11.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's,
Hmm.
I mean, they were very. There was no way to tell that they weren't just rocks before they moved
Yeah.
like that. And in
Very
fact,
convincing rocks.
as soon as you kind of like lost sight of where like that little clump was, as you kind of try to look back, and you'd have to kind of just try to remember where there were not rocks before and there are now, because they've stopped moving. They closed their little eyes.
Creepy little
Yeah.
bastards.
We are not alone.
No.
They
Um,
are some
d-
of the aforementioned creatures that clean up the scraps around here.
You don't snack on rocks?
No, but they snack on my snacks.
They pick the bones.
Yes.
Yes. The bubble that the dragon went into, is that the bubble that we were in before?
No, so there's
Okay,
there's
okay,
a
I got
couple of layers. So there's the huge, enormous one
Yep.
that is that magical threshold previously indicated, and then there's smaller within that,
Mhm.
a still large, like 100 yards across,
Mhm.
sphere of magical darkness.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
So the bubble that the dragon went into,
Mm-hmm.
can I don't want to like touch it, but I want to get close to it. And I just want to like, can I get a sense of how powerful it is?
So I think once you get within about 30 feet,
Mm-hmm.
you hear an
Okay. Oh, sorry. It's kind of confusing down here. I don't know my left from my right. I'm sorry.
You can make an Arcana check though from there.
Okay.
Kat, are you hungry? I'm getting a little hungry.
Oh my God! Natural 20.
Really?
Seriously, yeah.
Uh,
plus a 6 Arcana, so 26.
you get the impression that it is more powerful than like a standard darkness spell,
Okay.
which is somewhat to be expected just by how big it is.
Right.
But you do get the sense that it's not theoretically impossible to dispel it. It's just it's powerful, but not necessarily like god tier or anything.
Yeah. Okay. I tell Nira, yeah, I'm getting hungry, and then I relay that information to her while she's.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that, but
No.
I will create food and water.
All right, so you guys are going to try to get a long rest there?
Yeah, I am. I am. Yeah.
All right, are you? I guess Nira doesn't, strictly speaking, need to be completely unconscious, but
Yeah, and I want to make sure not to do any like of how I sometimes do the ritual talking to Rushama. I don't know about the security doing that right here,
Yeah.
so I'm going to specifically not do it.
okay.
Just in case this dragon is unable to read the bit of Rushama that I've got. So
Okay.
I'm gonna keep
Oh,
that
come on, just
connection.
5 more minutes.
All right, so back to the rest of you. We don't necessarily have to pick up that conversation right where it was. Have you guys come to any additional thoughts, or are you?
Well, we
getting
had
ready to
the
tune
mansion
in?
making some gourmet meals, and
That's what I was just going to say. Archie's
there's a
definitely
banquet
eating
going on.
steak.
Get your long rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So you're going ahead, and Archie, you're going to go ahead and sleep, just hoping that the mansion will protect you from this effect?
Yes.
All right. So sure enough, Archie, I think you do dream of those other planes that you visited. You find yourself just having sort of flashes of, the strange limbo, that strange labyrinth-like place, and then the feasting hall, as you just sort of have a mess of imagery in your head, but nothing like what the others described as their
Cool.
previous dream. And the rest of you in the mansion don't experience like a repeat of the dream.
Probably because it already took everything.
Meanwhile, the Ket and Nira, you do have dreams, but the dream is of being at a fancy dinner party where every time you try to come up with some witty thing to say or anecdote, everyone just looks at you like that you've just said the stupidest thing ever, and it's really uncomfortable.
Oh my god, this is the worst nightmare ever.
I don't like people anyway.
Yeah. So basically, what you guys dream is a fancy dinner party where you don't really know anybody and you feel like you're not welcome there, but you have to sit there and eat anyway.
Oh my god, my anxiety is at an all-time high.
It's got to be awful for a bard.
Do we get a long rest, like with no
Yes.
encumbrances? Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
Cool.
Okay, when we
I think just the two of them, just as they are, about to wake up, what they get though is a last little lingering moment from the host of this dinner party. Just kind of says, and lest you think that this is just resting in preparation for a fight, I am prepared. And then you wake
I
up.
didn't say anything about fighting.
When we wake up, I'm like, oh my god, Nira, that was terrible. Please hold me.
You should wait for Cadence.
All right, so
I
what
will
about
give him a pat on the head. That's all you get. So, they're there. They're there.
So the mansion stays for 24 hours, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So Melicanth and Feathercrest, I think what they decide on is that Melicanth will stay inside the mansion just for safety, but that they'll essentially keep the door open, and Feathercrest will be sort of out front in case you guys need to reach her magically. Just like if there's communication needed, she will be standing outside the mansion unless there's something dangerous happens.
Okay, and then before we go, I just want to be clear what Melicanth wants us to, like, do we want to offer the stolen moment?
Well, so I think in the morning, once you did not have a repeat of the dreams, she's more confident that the dragon cannot read your thoughts while you're in the mansion. And what she says is, it will not be me fighting it if it comes to a fight. But if it could be killed, that might be the best outcome for us. In the meantime, I agree that I don't think we should give up the stolen moment. But the other two things could perhaps be worthwhile if we were to learn information that could really help us.
Okay.
And that, of course, is just her opinion.
I'll tell Feathercrest to keep that rolled parchment that I handed them before, the one that's round and hole shaped. Keep that on hand just in case. If a fight breaks out, throw it at the barrier.
That sounds dangerous.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Should I
Unless I
be
tell
at
you
a
not.
safe distance, or I'm not sure I understand
Well,
what's
if
supposed
I'm,
to happen.
we couldn't bring that through the barrier because something bad would happen. So I'm hoping something bad happens.
It sounded like the dragon was saying something bad would happen to us.
Like if you're in it, I think. I think if you're outside, you're fine.
Maybe
Okay.
not right away if a battle breaks out, but if things are going badly and the two of you need to get away, that'll probably provide enough cover.
Okay.
And I won't hold it against you if I'm still alive.
Well, hopefully you will be.
I'm kind of hoping about it, but not betting today.
All right, so the rest of you heading back in?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I run up to Cadence. Oh my God, Cadence! I had the most terrible nightmare. Nobody loved me. Everyone didn't know me. It was the oh my God, it was so bad, Cadence. You love me, don't you?
Of course I do.
Oh, thank God, somebody said it. Oh, I quietly whisper in her ear. Are we going to kill it?
I have to.
And I think as you guys are coming in, the dragon's in all of your heads and is just saying, "Your cleric friend Nira now knows that I am of my word when I make a deal. So perhaps all of you can understand now that you can trust me and that we can perhaps do business."
What did you do?
It was
Weird.
fine. It was just a spell. It's fine.
What do you mean it's just a spell? It taught you a spell?
No, I traded a spell.
For what?
Information about the dragon. I wanted to know how he does what he does, and he told me.
And you believe him?
Yes.
All right.
I look
Well.
at Alaric. Look at all the pretty gemstones on the dragon.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I think the dragon at this point will also just offer, because I know all of you are concerned about honesty, I would be willing to submit to a zone of truth spell.
Well, you had fit in one of those?
If I had that prepared, that'd be
Gosh,
funny
if
if that was
only
the,
you had just had a long rest and could have made a decision of that nature.
It'd be funny if that was the spell you traded away.
Right.
I thought about it, but I don't feel like he's gonna lie about it. So,
Ah, well,
like,
you'll just have to trust me then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, guys. Spending a night with this dragon, I do actually believe that we can trust it.
Well, for starters, Melikith is not going to part with the stolen moment, so that is completely off the table.
Okay, good to know.
A pity.
But we were curious as to whether or not there are any other secrets that you might be interested in acquiring that we could acquire for you in exchange for information.
This is not the dragon. This is me thinking. Do I have any? You wish to embark on a quest to attain some secret for me?
Sure.
And I suppose you would find it reasonable to wait for your answers until you have returned with said secret.
Of course, that would only be fair.
Well, in that case, there are... See, I think some of you may assume that secrets are only what is now, and not things that could be. A secret could be something important happening that no one knows about. If you were, for example, to kill someone important and escape without detection, that would be a secret worth knowing.
Given our history, it'd be a miracle too.
All right.
Yes, that's
Who
why
needs
I
to
would
die?
not pay you your information until you have returned successfully. So,
No, I don't blame you.
Man, I think the arm might be cheaper.
Is there someone
needs
that
to
you?
die?
Yeah, is there someone you would want dead? Your Excellency?
not especially. But that would be a secret worth trading for. The importance of the person proportional to the price, of course.
Bad that I just had an idea spring to mind, but I am not going to suggest that. That'd be very bad. Nope. Keeping that one to myself.
My list is short and well known.
Have you heard of a man named Zorath?
Or a thing
That
named
one
I
is not on the table.
I know all about Zorath from your own memories.
Is he
That's
important enough to kill?
If you could
That's
do
gotta be
so
the-
without it being known to anyone else, then certainly.
Yeah, I think Jinxie would know about that.
Yeah, we got to kill her too.
Besides, I think Nira would kill us all if we killed Zorath, her boyfriend.
We need him.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
Jinxie's
is so
true
powerful.
nature would also be something of interest. For I, like you, have observed her without full understanding. To know the truth of her nature would also be something I would be intrigued by. But you're here. You have these things that I already have expressed interest in. Why don't we do a deal here today?
Why? What do you propose?
He wants Alaric's arm.
I want the arm. I'm also interested in the iron flask, with contents included. And, of course, the stolen moment, even though you have already suggested that's not on the table. In exchange for these things, I would be willing to part with information of your choosing, to be negotiated, of course, to figure out exactly what buys you what. But whatever you would like to know, I can tell you whether or not it is mine to share.
If we wanted to know what happened to this place, and I look all around, could you tell us the answer to that? And what would that particular piece of information cost us? The arm, the flask, or something else?
Would you be satisfied with an explanation without seeing? Or would you feel the need for proof? Because I could explain, and that would allow me to choose the level of detail that I share. That's cheaper.
And to know where the tree is now, if it exists.
This I know also.
Semantic on us.
And
this
let
thing's
me tell you, that's a good one. I'll even go so far as to say central to your primary objectives.
Do you know the secrets of how to use the tree?
I already know that, Alaric.
But you can't use it now.
Not if the tree's not here, but if it was here, I could.
It would be impossible to use the tree now. But I know why.
Then it doesn't help us.
Can we think of anything that we would want to know that could help us pertaining to our overall larger quest and not just what happened to the tree or this place?
But that is what I speak of. They are connected. How?
Oh, you're a wily mistress, dragon.
Mister, but thank you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to assume. I just kind of side saddle up a little bit to Nira. And I just kind of make pew pew noises.
The dragon is saying, you are all sidestepping the truth of your mission, which I will remind you I already know. You wish to stabilize the multiverse and have it not destroyed, not fractured into pieces through the instability brought on by the stolen moment. I know this because you know this. And I promise you, I have information that would be extremely valuable to you on that mission. And what it would cost you is 2 of the 3 items I have identified.
What if we give you one item, say the arm,
Or the
and we
ball.
kind of borrow this information? So you give us the information we need, you get the arm, we fix the multiverse so you can live and keep your secrets, and we come back and you can have the information back. You take it from our minds, you wipe it like we didn't know it. And,
What assurances would I have of your return?
well, you'll have the arm for sure.
We really like that arm.
Yeah.
I've grown attached to it.
I mean, you're asking us to put a lot of faith and trust in you, so you have to do the same for us. I mean,
You are the one coming to me.
Well, let's put it this way. You know what's inside their heads.
Yes.
So if we tell you that we're going to come back, you would know whether we were lying or not, correct?
It's true.
But if you were to fail to come back, even
Well, if we
We
die,
need to-
then the secret dies with us if we should die.
Mhm.
I would need something more binding.
Do you have any kind of like tracking spell? People seem to like to track us. You could track us.
Flash the little bracelet. Can't do that.
Let's see. I'm just trying to. I'm thinking about what it would be interested in doing. I think that it is. What if you were to leave one of these artifacts behind as the collateral for the memories and secrets you take with you? You promise to return to submit your memories? Well, what if you were to leave one of these artifacts behind as a deposit of sorts? That
How
would
much of our
guarantee-
memories are you
We're
talking about?
pretty sure we're going to need these artifacts to complete our task, so that's kind of a tough spot.
Well, we could leave the arm. We could.
I would leave the bottle, personally, but
Yeah.
That's our greatest weapon.
We hope.
I feel like the arm is more valuable.
I'm not so sure.
And
Do you have
yet,
an
how
opinion about this?
valuable is the arm when you don't know how to use it?
I got the basics down pat, but hasn't really explained much otherwise.
That arm we think is specifically connected to the tree. I think giving it up is a mistake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yet, all of this information that I have is of utmost importance as well. You have to give a little to get a little.
That's not a little, but your point is taken. Does the arm have an opinion about this?
The arm feels like it's really important to get to what's in the center of that darkness. It doesn't have any kind of a coherent way of describing to you what it thinks is necessary or worthwhile to get there, but it feels like that's important.
Can I ask you if maybe this would be important since you managed to like take something from Mira last night?
Yes.
There is something that I could offer you that maybe you could take from me.
What are you
I mean,
offering?
I have all these things that I've learned over the years as a bard, and I have this thing that when I usually in battle I am very weak, and I cast the spell, and that's all I can do. But I have learned recently to be able to cast the spell and then strike down with my weapon as well. And I found that to be.
Give
I
up
found
that
that-
ability?
I would give up that ability, yes. For now, until we return again.
I'm not sure that's of sufficient importance.
Hmm.
I don't know that you would come back for that.
I would be willing to give you the greatest piece of my heart. I would leave it here.
I'm not staying here, Cadence.
Yes, he's a very humble bard.
So, do you feel like that's something that the dragon would know what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel like it's something
Explain it to the
that
I'll
Scanna
say
would
it's
know?
something that the DM is not sure what you mean.
Okay. I mean, basically, it's like what Ket said. Like, she's been in love with Ket for years. So she would be willing to leave that part of herself here.
I was thinking just let it borrow your memories of living here in this city because nobody else would know that.
Say, Mr. Dragon, I remember being here. Would you like to take that memory from me too?
I had a bad sandwich one. You want to take that one?
Gosh, so as just a meta aside, I'm a little bit wary of having your characters in character lose memories that you as the player still have. That just seems like a challenging role play.
Yeah, crumple up my notes, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm potentially open to it. I mean, this is kind of the direction that things have gone. So I think.
Well, as,
the
maybe
dragon-
as a show of good faith, and I don't know if it's collateral, but you know everybody else's stories. Like, you didn't necessarily steal them. Well, I mean, you didn't necessarily. Hold on.
Standing by.
What if we sacrifice an infant?
No, but you don't know my stories, and maybe not taking them, but at least the knowledge of them, putting us on an equal footing, so to speak.
If the key here is that if part of your bargain is that you would do some great deed and then return to surrender your memories of doing it, then I must be assured it is something you would return for. Some memory that would be more valuable to you than knowing you saved the universe. You see why some of the offers you've made so far seem inadequate.
Yeah, but, you put them all together.
Looking like a package deal here. Package some smalls together. I've watched a lot of American Pickers. I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. I wish I did.
Let me think.
What if I were to?
Why don't you just tell us what you want?
What if I were to give up? What if I were to give up the source of my vengeance?
Your paladin's oath? Is that what you're...
It's an effect that, yeah, it would be what it would be. With
What does that do for you?
I'm just thinking about
Essentially-
mechanically, like that would
Yeah, how would
would
that
that
work?
strip you of your...
Become an oath breaker?
yeah,
Yeah.
I would change classes.
Oh my god.
That's an
That's-
interesting idea.
That's big.
I will tell you, it is the most important thing to me and my soul.
Yeah.
Period.
But
Yeah.
for that, we want a lot.
Would it be restorable though if you had to?
It's collateral, right? Is what we're talking about, or is it
right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's intriguing.
That's intriguing. I think that is certainly of interest, knowing what such a powerful warrior used to fight for. I think I still need something from everyone else, though.
Come on. Surely you jest. Now you're playing games.
Don't call him Shirley.
We're making a bargain, are we not? I'm bargaining.
Okay, but come on. Our friend Archie here is offering you up a whole lot. You're not going to want to expect something like that level from each of us.
Not only that, but if that core part of Archie changes, like we don't even know who's left after the vengeance part is gone. Like we don't, like that's a sacrifice for all of us to make for such a drastic change to him. So, I mean, we can talk about bargains, but that's not just him changing who he is.
No, you're right. But I think I would need all of you to forget what.
What if instead of just borrowing it instead of temporary, if it's permanent? And you will be the only one that ever knows that secret.
That's too much. Unless he's going to sweeten the pot, that's way too much for what we've asked for.
Archie, that's a lot.
For that, we'd have to know everything. Everything about
think the
this
stakes are
place,
that
the
high.
tree, you even, for that
The
I
matter.
think the stakes are that high, but I'm certainly not going to go any further.
So, it would need to be something that the others could not share with you. I would need to take the knowledge of your vow away from all of you.
Archie, are you sure that's what you want?
It's too high a price.
I think it's worth it.
It's too high a price.
So this is the arm and the vow.
Both of them.
I say the bottle. I don't give him the arm. Say the bottle.
We're gonna need her help.
I didn't think we were giving him anything. I thought this was the deal. This was rather than give you an item, we were bargaining with this.
For everything, he said he wanted 2 things.
For just
We're not-
one, I can give you valuable information, but at a level of detail of my choosing.
I could let you have my ability to sing.
No.
That's interesting, too.
I mean,
I would need it back, though. I'd want that back. That's not permanent.
It does strike me as something you would return for.
Yes. That is what I'm offering.
Autarky's vow. Ket's ability to sing. If each of you were to offer something equivalent to that, then that would be sufficient.
I haven't got anything.
No, we got it, we don't.
I mean, we're tight. We're all coming back for this already. Come on.
The thing is, if I give up the only thing that I can think of, then I think mechanically would effectively just be a normal creature and unable to do anything anymore, so I can't give that up.
Nira, if you would give up the memory of your family.
You could have it back.
Just to borrow, right? We get these things back.
Assuming that you return with deeds of sufficient importance and surrender memories of those, then yes. You
Then
would
I'll do it.
essentially be giving me these memories and then buying them back in the future.
Would we remember what we gave you, or would it just be we know we gave you something important that we have to come back for? How would we know to come back?
You would remember that much, at least. You would remember making the deal with me, and I'm not stripping you bare after all.
And yet Amethyst didn't remember.
That was a different arrangement.
You're asking a lot, so I'm going to ask for that too. Bring her memories back. Take mine, if you want them so badly.
Awfully presumptuous of you to think that all memories are equivalent.
I don't. But I haven't much else to offer.
This is a very important dwarf.
I could take Autarky's vow, Nira's memory of her family, Ket's ability to sing, Amethyst, perhaps a promise to never recover your former memories.
What?
Alaric, what if What about all memory of your life before being stuck in that hole? Cadence, your memory of living in the city as it was? You are purchasing information which will help you save the universe. After all, you should expect it to come at a high price.
Leasing.
Do it, Cadence. You can get the memory back.
But
What if we need to know?
I might need to know that information.
I know.
You don't know how to use the tree.
What are you talking about? I went through
was
the
part-
damn tree too.
But that was part of me living here, was all that training that I did for like my whole childhood. And
I may not know that tree as well as you do, but I do know how to use it. I've gone through it.
Well, I
You
mean,
would
I think
retain your abilities, just not how you learned them, the knowledge of how you learned them.
See, there you go. And you'll get it back.
all right,
It's a deal
I-
then?
We
I'll do
keep
it.
all our stuff. You take these memories from us and tell us what we want to know.
We loan them to you.
Yes.
you
I-
get them back.
I have to. It's difficult for me to say that I'm never going to get those memories back. I'm obviously
Only
fine.
temporarily, though.
Is it temporarily or is it forever? Never getting my memories back.
You
Well,
could
don't die in
surrender
the
something else instead. Something that could be returned.
The biggest reason I want those memories back is to know if I left anybody in harm's way, that I should go back and help out of harm's way.
I can see why you would want to know that.
It'd make my decision a lot easier if I knew whether or not there was someone like that. Or someone's. Without that knowledge, restoring the universe makes that an issue again. It's no longer 100 years later. If there are small children somewhere.
The promise is not a permanent binding one, and the promise is simply that you would not receive that information now. And if you wished to gain it in the future, you would have to buy it with some other price.
So you
Done.
won't seek the knowledge some other way.
Done. That's easy. Well, not
Very
easy.
well. Oh. Hang on.
That's okay. You can get that.
The dragon's under the line.
Well,
Yes, this is
I
Dragon.
accidentally set an alarm for PM instead of AM. All right, so then the bargain is this. Amethyst will not regain any of her past memories unless she chooses to buy them back at some future time. But not for the price that you are all offering now, which is upon your return, if you have achieved some deed of sufficient weight, you will surrender that memory to regain what you are giving up now. Alaric, memory of what was life like before the whole. Ket, your ability to sing. Cadence, your memory of your life in the city of Emerald Arborers before your travels. Nira, your memory of your family. And Artaki, your vow. You sacrifice these things now, and then you may earn them back in the future if you have sufficient price. Yes?
All right.
And knowledge of the completion of our task would be a sufficient price, right?
If that task is completed.
And neither you nor your creature will bar us from entering this place to return and fulfill that.
Why would I do that if your return is to buy your memories back with a greater, more valuable price? That is
Just
the
wanna
deal
make
we are
sure.
striking.
Because your leech will take them. The leech has to leave us alone. And your dream trick has to not be done.
I promise that I will allow you to buy back your memories that you are sacrificing now with the memory of saving the universe, if that is in fact something you are able to do. For I can tell you information, but it will still be up to you to do the deed.
That's the one.
All right then.
Each of us can get that return. If some of us don't return, the rest still get the deal.
Whoever returns gets the deal, right?
If one of us dies along the way,
Oh,
that doesn't squirrel
The
the deal.
deal is
He
that
just gets
I
to
will
keep
be
that
the only
information
one
forever.
remaining who knows. That means the memory must not be present in anyone else.
Right.
Fair enough.
Wait. How do we make that promise for other people who might be there and survive this?
That's up to you.
I don't like that caveat.
No. That means we have to do everything completely in secret and no one knows. And it's not that I care, I don't want renown, but how do you save everything with no one else ever knowing?
I don't want to kill any allies just because we've defeated this thing and have to honor this deal.
You could persuade them instead to come and surrender their memory to me. You don't necessarily need to kill them. But what I am buying is a secret. And a secret known by others is not the same. I am offering a secret currently only known by me. Why should I buy with that a secret that lots of people know?
So that means not even Melican.
Okay.
If we discover that someone else knows these secrets, you will return our stuff immediately. You claim you're the only one who knows, and we only have your word for that. But if anyone else does know, then your part is void, and we have everything returned for no cost.
I made no such promise. I am
just
the only
claimed
one
that
that
you're the only
knows
one to
these
know.
things that I know of, but I have the information and I am selling it.
But what if something terrible happened to you, like, I don't know, somebody really powerful showed up and murdered you and learned all your secrets?
Well, it would be in your interest that that did not happen, wouldn't it?
I'm not really giving up anything that I don't already like have no access to. It's like gone. So I don't feel right negotiating anymore on that. But
I think we have an understanding. We're going to do our best. He's going to do his best.
I'm just thinking about the moment that was taken. There was a lot of people there. And if we put that back and fix everything, all of those people will be there and will know.
No. Well,
No, they won't know anything ever happened.
Technically,
yeah.
they won't. I mean, we'll have that memory of putting the moment back and fixing it. That's the only memory we'll have. Those other people won't have the memory of us putting back the moment and fixing it because they didn't see us do that.
Life for them would just go on like normal.
Yeah, we'll put the moment back and it'll just be like nothing happened for them. They won't see us. They won't know what we went through and what we did to put this memory back. Only we're the ones that are going to know that.
What about Mugen?
It's just suddenly we'll be there. Hello.
Mugen's not here. He doesn't have Mugen's memories.
No, but he has a fragment.
Well, we're pretty sure we're going to need him to complete this. So
We'll track him down and let him know what's going on.
I mean, yeah.
And then bring him back here.
For all we know, he's, heaven forbid. But for all we know, he's dead. So we can't.
We'll worry about him after the fact.
And Zorath and Jinxie, we'll have to hunt them down.
Oh yeah, we're going to kill them for sure. That's already a done deal.
Are you okay with that, Nirakina?
I mean, it seems like a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But we're making
Conversation
it now.
for another day.
Oh, not the Zorath, killing Zorath and Jinxie. Just, are you okay with this overall bargain right now?
I suppose our choices are limited.
The dragon's looking around at all of you, eyes glittering like gemstones.
It's either that, give him the arm, the flask, or the stolen moment, or 3, we just kill him now. And I think
wouldn't
he's
advise the latter.
I think he's known that's been on the table the entire time, so I'm not afraid to say it out loud.
Do recall that I have seen all of your memories. I do know how you frequently solve problems.
Yes.
With murder.
And I'm not saying I want to fight you, Your Excellency. I'm just saying that's another thing that's on the table for us as a whole. I'm not saying I want that. I'm just putting it out there that the group knows this, and he knows it obviously too.
Okay, if we're going to do this, let's do it before I change my mind.
Deal.
Deal. And I cast Finger of... No, I'm just kidding.
Finger of signing.
Roll initiative. No.
Finger of signing, that's correct.
Alright. I need verbal agreement from everyone.
Do it.
Fine.
I agree.
How do we bind you to your side of the contract?
Oh my god.
Included with this, we alone will know your true name. That will bind you.
I did already tell you my name.
A name.
True, I wrote it down.
If that's your true name and you've given it so freely, then fine. We have
Because
an
it
agreement.
doesn't actually give you any power over me.
I've heard some mages say differently. Frankly, I don't know.
Can we get one of your amethysts?
One of my amethysts.
What, am I not good enough?
I was gonna say we already have one.
No.
Oh, wow.
One of his scales, one of the amethysts.
Would that satisfy you?
I think it would, yeah.
I don't know. Ask Alaric. He's the one who wants this.
I don't trust him. But
What choice do we have? We have to make a decision. Like, we could stay here forever going, what if this happens or what if that happens? We have to decide so that we can move forward and get.
What you can trust is that if you come, just as I am offering a bargain right now, if you come back with a better memory, I'm willing to make a trade.
Can I still get one of those amethysts?
It kind of scowls at you, and then it just like thwacks its tail against a rocket. A little bit of a chip goes ding, 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 over in your direction.
all right, let's do this.
It's a bargain then. And so all of you, I'm assuming, are not trying to resist this?
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So all of you feel this presence in your mind. You had already experienced its telepathic communication, but this feels less like you're hearing someone speak to you over headphones or a little internal PA system, and more like someone is literally, fingering through your brains like they're searching for little fragments in it. And each of you are feeling this intense, it's painful, but you're not really even quite aware of your body. Alaric, you are thinking of memories of your father and the wedding that was going to happen, and then what? You were kind of always down in that mine. Ket, you don't feel different exactly, but now all of your memories of knowing that you have always sung, it somehow doesn't feel like it was you anymore. It feels like it happened to someone else. Because how could you ever sing like that? Cadence, you know that you came from somewhere when you were part of your team traveling all over the multiverse. I mean, you started somewhere, you must have. You learned how to travel on this tree somehow, you must have. You met Ket before you were part of this group, but when did that happen? You don't know? Nira, you remember being struck by lightning in that tree, and you know that you were leaving behind something when you set out on that pilgrimage, but now you can't quite remember what was there for you. What would be there when you go back? I mean, you understand intellectually other high elves, but you can't put a name or a face to any of them. Otterkey, you remember that moment in the temple when you had experienced the shattering of the stolen moment, and you experienced that vision, and you were put in touch with this force that tapped into your desire for vengeance against the demons and devils that meddle with mortals and wreak their evil across the multiverse, and your desire to eradicate them and make the world better. I mean, seemed important to you once. But now you just don't understand where the urgency was before. It's just not there anymore. And you feel hollow. You used to fight for something, but now it's gone. And the dragon is looking around at all of you. And so, now see what you bought. And it turns and gestures one of its sort of winged tentacles, and the darkness dissipates. And we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Oh my god!
Yes, so we are going to take a 5-minute break just for everyone. We've been talking a lot. We've already been going 2 hours, but I'm not going to just leave it there on that big cliffhanger. So let's all just take 5 minutes. And, if you don't feel like you need to get up and do anything, you can hang out, we can chat. But otherwise, we will resume the story proper in 5 minutes from now.
Okay.
You're so good at those cliffhangers. I don't even know one's coming and you get me.
Well, this is exciting, though. I mean, like I said, I was talking to everybody beforehand that it was always possible that this might come to a fight, but that's not necessarily the most interesting thing that could happen. So you guys have all signed up for some new role-playing challenges.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah, so that's I think I'm trying to, I don't have an easy way to, oh, you know what? I didn't plan this from a technical perspective. That I should have be able to go to a little title card for the stream or something. But yeah, otherwise we can just hang out. So Smarter Master is asking in the chat, what will Archie become? And I think there is a paladin subclass called the Oathbreaker, and I think that
didn't we fight
sense.
one of those?
Yeah, I just made a character or a copy of my character sheet, so I'm looking to switch classes.
Like, didn't we fight one? It was with that flail snail.
Yeah.
We fought one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where Alaric got his ask stab first, questions later dagger from that thing.
What's this now? What have I forgotten already?
You guys once fought an Oathbreaker paladin.
Oh yeah, that was around the flail snail, wasn't it?
Yep.
Stupid flail snail.
I think it was pretty bad.
Well, it's just kind of hilarious because that creature out of like the D&D, all the D&D creatures is like it's just designed to like troll players. It's like
Still have this vision of like smacking it with the hammer. Make it stop making that noise.
Yeah.
Hey, Other Doc is rating. Welcome. I didn't. That was a little bit earlier, and I didn't actually notice at the time. So welcome. We're taking a break. We got 2 minutes to go, and then we're gonna restart. Anyone who's missing that, but thank you for those of you who are watching. I hope you enjoy. Our party has just sacrificed extremely valuable personal memories in order to learn what may help them be able to save the universe. And it's all part of a deal where in order to get those valued, cherished memories back, they'll have to surrender their memory of saving the universe. If that
or
happens.
something else valuable, right?
Yeah, or...
Be a long
Because
day
I was
before
thinking maybe we go and offer to murder the Emperor of Pashan, see what happens. But it's like, nope, probably shouldn't do that.
Quietly? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
There's a storm cloud overhead. I wonder if that's quiet.
Well, I do have the poisoner's kit.
Now you break that out.
And some ingestible poison. So
Yeah, because you guys are certainly ninjas. That's like your deal, right?
I mean, I could do that, but that's something else.
But he wouldn't.
Well, I don't tend to murder, regular people, I guess, or even.
I mean, the Emperor of Pashan was trying to get us to go and visit for some reason.
You were
Oh,
invited.
crikey.
You were also
So the
told that's where.
Oathbreaker has to become evil.
Oh no!
Well, you could just become a simple fighter. I guess I don't know how you want to do this.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, I.
Unmotivated and listless, like you're not sure which college you want to go to.
I'm potentially open to. I think.
Something?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Oathbreakers. I don't know. That's kind of.
It seems like it would transcend your alignment, really.
Well, but at the same time, it makes sense to me that something that was so personal, and so like your driving force, like what you fight for, like to lose that, and
bitter and
yeah. Now that evil doesn't necessarily mean all of a sudden you don't care about saving the universe.
Oh no.
Right? Just
I would offer up Zorath as an example. So
We want to offer him up in so many ways.
that's not necessarily a guarantee. Mira's not going to like you. So.
All right. So I think we're at 5 minutes, but do we have everybody back? I think we're still waiting for Jenny.
We're missing a Jenny.
Yeah. Back soon, I'm sure. But yes. Yeah, so this is interesting.
It really is.
Because I was really sure for a while there that you guys were just going to go ahead and say, come on, this is taking too long, let's just fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
That literally
curious.
just came to me on the spot.
If I don't remember my family, do I still? I mean, I think of that as the place that I'm from, right? I mean,
Well,
just
you
don't
you
remember
must
my
have
family?
been from there, but you just you can't really think of any of the individual people who were there. Like, that's where you were from, and there must be other high elves there, and you must
we're all
have
related.
a family, but in principle, you must have had a mother and a father, for example, but you don't remember their faces or who they are or really.
I pretty much just gave up the ability. I just pretty much gave up the ability to do bardic inspiration for anybody.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
Yeah. Mind you, it's always something I forget to use anyway, so.
I thought maybe you could still do your, spells. You just suck.
Play an instrument.
Well, what I'm thinking, I was going to interpret it as what we can discuss what it might mean mechanically, but I
was hoping that it could be that I just can't sing anymore.
Well, I think if you could still do it with a musical instrument.
Right. I just spoken word comedy.
But yeah, so I don't know that it necessarily has to have a mechanical thing. But is everyone back?
Okay.
All right.
Yep, we're back.
All right. Great. So now, as the dragon is grinning, its amethyst teeth and eyes just glittering.
Stop saying it that way. I just can't help but picture Amethyst as its teeth now, and this is just getting really confusing.
Amethyst teeth, yeah. So,
the prettiest teeth you ever seen.
It's like human druid teeth. This is just a wrong image.
So as the darkness dissipates, you see that in the center of where that is, there is a sort of a central dais, and you see just sort of a glittering of that that telltale purple light that you've all kind of become aware of, and then everything else that is there is a little too far away, but the dragon just kind of gestures and says, "See for yourself." You all approach?
Yep, paid
Yeah.
for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what you see as you approach this area is that there's a fissure, but both so Amethyst and Cadence and Ket would definitely recognize that growing through it is a branch of the tree. And the fissure is only just big enough to allow the branch to pass through. And then at the base of it is a head made of red metal that looks very similar to the arm. And the dragon says, "Meet the renegade, or the caretaker, or whatever you like. Amethyst, you will not remember doing this. But you opened that fissure, the first one. And you did it so that the tree could grow back into this world from the astral plane where it was taken."
Huh. How about that?
Damn.
And even as he says that, you still just, it still feels like he's describing something that someone else did. You have no memory of it. He says, "The caretaker doesn't talk so much anymore, but once upon a time, the inexorables, beings of pure law, didn't like the tree. They didn't like how it allowed people access to any plane they chose to wish to visit. So they killed it. But killing a tree like the Emerald Arboris is no simple task. And like any other living thing, when it is removed from the prime material plane, it has to go somewhere. And so it was sealed within the astral plane, in the astral sea. Unable to reach any other plane, permanently sealed there, along with the city that surrounded it. But the tree kept the universe healthy, you see. And without it, it grew brittle, fragile, subject to fractures. And it was Amethyst's decision, learning this course of events, that she chose to exploit one of these fractures in the hopes that the tree would grow back through and return to its original life force. That was the bargain she struck, to be allowed to do that with my help, in exchange for losing the memory of it. But what she didn't realize is that it didn't work. You see, the branch is there, but something on the other side is keeping the tree from returning to its full health.
Well, I think our course of action is pretty clear.
Time to go to the plane.
If you are able to restore the tree, there will be no need to return the stolen moment. The universe will be able to heal itself. But there's an additional wrinkle. Look over there. And he gestures over to what looked like it was another one of the remains of the wall. But from this angle, you can see there's a little alcove in it. And then standing there about 8 feet tall is what looks like some sort of a strange clockwork robot contraption, and not too dissimilar from the steam golem that you once fought, sharing
Denomes.
some design in common with this head of the caretaker, the arm, but different. It has just an enormous like central circular dish on its chest. Its head is just like a single eye, like a big eyeball but like mechanical is its head. And he says, "That was the guard left behind by the inexorables to prevent the tree from being restored. Amethyst and I exploited a loophole by just causing the fissure and hoping that the tree would grow through it. But if you were to be more obvious in your attempts to restore the tree, it would reactivate. And as much as you may have not wanted to fight me, I would not want to fight that."
Can I use my magnifying glass to look at it?
Yeah. You do, and it does the. I'm really tempted to be mean here. The magnifying glass cracks. It goes.
Okay, that didn't work. Hope that's not completely broken.
What's that mean?
That means that thing is bad news.
It is indeed.
What is it called?
It is called a Marut.
A root.
It is a being constructed by the forces of pure law, designed to enforce a contract of sorts. So long as no attempt is made to restore the tree, it remains inert.
From this side or from anywhere?
What it doesn't see, it can't enforce. But that it would prevent any attempt to simply restore the tree, but to regrow it from the other side. Perhaps that was Amethyst's hope previously.
So, who created the fissure? Was it me or was it you?
Mostly it was you, but I assisted. You gave up much of your power. It was the first fissure. The first is the hardest. It took quite a lot out of you. And some of that was reflected onto me, making me as I am now.
Well, you look cute.
Thank you.
It suits you. So I used to know how to open fissures?
And a great deal more. But I'm afraid you have not purchased those memories.
No, I get it.
I want to kneel down and stare into the face of this red head.
Your hand wants to pick it up.
Oh.
I look over at the dragon to see if it's indicating anything wrong with that.
It's saying, "The arm is new. I am not sure what it will do."
I look at the rest of them, shrug, and
We'll
then
miss your beard.
I let the hand go.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. There is a big bright flash. All of you are actually sort of knocked backward by sort of a shockwave, and there's a bright flash of light, Alaric, your arm is gone. It has left your body, and you've got a stump. And you are it's not a healed stump. It's you've lost an arm, but as Alaric lays back holding his bleeding stump, you see that the arm has now sort of the head and the arm have extended towards each other, making now an arm and a neck and a shoulder. And the eyes flicker a little bit.
I'm regenerating that arm like right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of grunting in pain. I don't
Yeah.
think that's all I could do at the moment.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant. It can't be. So yeah.
The dragon is just like, well, wasn't that interesting? All right. So casting regeneration.
Yeah.
All right.
It says it, yeah.
Yeah. So you tap into your druidic magic, and you channel that healing energy back into Alaric, and Alaric, the pain fades, the bleeding stops, and very slowly you do see the arm kind of starting to regrow. And in fact, it actually at first starts looking like there's vines growing out of the stump and making the shape of the hand. But then once there is the full shape of a hand and an arm there under this grass-like vine exterior, the outer surface of it flakes away like leaves falling off of a tree in the fall, and your arm is back to normal.
Forgot what that looked like. Not so sure I'm impressed. Can you speak, friend? Do you know who you are? Talking to the head and arm.
Yeah. And it just, and the eyes kind of flicker and then look up to you and just kind of say, I know who I was once. I know who I became. Who I am now is to be determined.
You one up on me. My name is Alaric. I know you as the Renegade. Is that what I call you? Or the Caretaker? Maybe you like that name better.
Yes. I was the caretaker. The tree was my responsibility to ensure that it grew and functioned according to its nature. But the others disliked it. They saw it as messy and not the truth, which was that it was a dam holding off the flood of chaos that threatens us now.
I have a feeling your knowledge is going to be handy. Not here, but I think we can get you to where you need to be. And I'll outstretch my hand towards what was my hand to give him a hand up.
Okay. Well, so there's no body. It's just...
I know. Should be a lot lighter to carry this way.
As you start to do that, though, the dragon goes, You may not have sold me the hand, but I did not sell you the head.
It's a person. It's a being. Surely you don't own that. Consider it
It's just
alone.
glaring at you.
Consider it alone. seeing as how my arm seems to have fallen into this bargain by
You did that
circumstance.
of your own volition.
Not exactly, but I think the caretaker's got a place to be. He'll be brought back when that's done, along with everything else. It'll be quite a story to tell if he's there.
The head stays. We made an accord. Let us not disrupt a successful bargain. The caretaker, the eyes have kind of dimmed, not completely out, but like it's maybe gone back to sleep or something.
Well, maybe he's where he needs to be. For now.
You could try to take it back.
I don't even know how I took it the first time.
I would also urge that you may have already awakened something. He gestures over to the Marut, which is now has like little lights blinking on it. He
Might be
says,
time to leave.
"It was the Marut that did that to the caretaker in the first place. So,
Well.
you may not wish to go too far in repairing him."
Yeah. Well, he's on the right side of the tree, at least. We're going to have to deal with that Marut eventually.
I would like to see that.
I have a feeling you're going to have a front row seat whether you like it or not. All right. We'll be back, caretaker. You be ready. Your job isn't done yet, no matter how many pieces they thought they could tear you into. I don't suppose the rest of them are lying around. Well, actually, I do suppose the rest of them are lying around. If we find any more, we'll bring them back to him.
So the eyes don't light up again, but the hand does a thumbs up.
Yeah. Same to you, buddy. Same to you. All right. What else is there to tell us?
What else do you want to know?
What happened to the people that were in the city? If they're in the Astral Sea, are they dead or did they survive?
Beings transported to the astral sea while alive do not age, nor do they hunger or thirst. But they can still be killed.
How long ago did this happen?
Thousands of years.
How old are you, Amethyst, and how do you do it? Like, is there cream or something? Damn.
Amethyst's part in this was more recent.
Oh.
The tree and the city were taken thousands of years ago.
Oh, okay.
Amethyst's involvement was not long ago at all. Just over 100.
All right.
Ket, did you have any more questions about your home?
No.
If this happened... Wait a minute. We found you with...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was just going to say that you guys notice one more thing within this sort of area is you didn't even quite notice it at first because the eye tends to kind of slide off of it. Because when you can sort of get a glance of it, it looks like a book, but you somehow have a hard time looking straight at it because it's not shaped quite like a book. Like your brain keeps telling you it's a book, but it's just some strange like morphing shape that you can't get your brain to coalesce into an actual solid form. But it's it's your brain interprets that as a book somehow.
Can I use the ring to try to look at it?
Um,
I don't know exactly what the magic is around this.
so if the ring can tell you if it's an illusion, it's not.
Okay. So, to the dragon, so what is that we can't quite look at?
It once belonged to the caretaker, now it belongs to me. It is a powerful magic artifact. It allows me to see many things.
Can I?
It was not part of the bargain.
But wouldn't make this secret so much more delicious if we were able to have like amazing artifacts to use on our quest?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's fair.
Can't even look at it? Like, just a peek? It's a book.
He gestures to it and saying, "Don't touch, just look."
Okay, then I'm going to get as close as I can to it.
Yeah, so what you find is that when you look at a normal book, right? Like there's the front cover, and then if you go around like the corner, you'll see like there's the sides of the pages, and then if you go around another corner, it's the back, and there's, you know, it's a rectangular solid with 6 sides, right? You know, it's got the front and back, and then the spine, and then 3 sides of pages. But somehow this one, you see a cover, but then when you go around a corner, it's another cover. But then no, so it's like somehow, no matter what angle you look at it from, it's just a book cover. But whenever you're looking at one side, you see pages around the side. You make an intelligence check. Yeah, your brain is having a hard time interpreting what it's seeing.
18, actually. That's
18.
not bad.
That's pretty good. You get the impression that this book does not entirely exist within this dimension, and that what you are seeing is it interfacing with other dimensions.
Interesting. That belonged to the renegade?
Yes. But now it belongs to me.
What's it called?
Hang on, I know this. I know, I closed the tab.
The Enchiridion.
No, okay, shoot, I closed the tab that had, it is the Codex Panoptica.
Codex Panopticon?
Yeah, it's not going to be in like D&D Beyond or anything.
Right.
Panoptica is what I said also. But
Panoptica.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting. All right.
So, are you all off then? Headed to the astral plane, perhaps?
Seems like it.
Anybody
do
else
hope
have
you'll
questions?
Is it safe for me to touch the tree here so that we can
I wouldn't.
transport back here?
So the branch that's sticking out of the fissure is maybe only like the thickness of your wrist.
Oh, okay.
So you can touch it, but it wouldn't be enough to go transport through plants through. Now, I mean, if you were on the other side of that fissure, you guys could potentially go through the fissure.
Yeah.
Right now it's only as wide as the branch is, but you guys kind of have a special relationship to those fissures anyway. You could potentially go through it.
Yeah. Just trying to figure out a quick way to get back here to get our memories and our oaths and things.
Hey, Dragon, do you have like a portal or anything, or like
Teleportations.
teleportation circles?
He kind
I'm
of
gonna
just...
rush back with our secret for you.
A shortcut to get back to you when we're done.
What about this entire situation has given you the impression that I do anything to make it easy for people to get here?
Well, but if we have a deal, like I would think you would want to
You
see
found
that.
your way here once. You can do it again, I'm sure. As promised, neither I nor the Oblex would hinder your efforts.
But you're not going to help us either.
What help do you require?
I can get us to the tree, the Oblex camp. At the Oblex camp. That's close.
I mean, we could always look for trees too, like on the way that are close to here.
If you're not going to impede us, then we can probably just fly here.
Or we could just come through the portal from the astral plane.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still prefer to go slap that Oblex around a little bit after we go through the tree to get here, but whatever. All right.
The Oblex is my employee. I would rather you not. It serves an important function.
Well,
We'll see.
I guess we're off then.
I guess so. I do hope you are able to save the universe. Because if you do, that would be a mighty fine prize.
Yeah.
All right. Are you headed out then?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
We'll probably get, just outside of the outer bubble, and then be like that moment of, oh man, I knew what I was going to ask.
I know. That's why I'm so quiet. I'm
So
like,
you're all leaving,
So I did have legend lore in my back pocket. I was thinking about casting that and
well, I mean, you tell me.
because I don't. He specifically said that using any other means to get information we don't pay for will be considered theft.
Yes, you could ask. I mean, he he revealed the darkness. He basically was letting you guys see what's in there. So I don't think
Well, I was going to use his name specifically for legend lore.
Oh, I
what I
see.
could learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It
yeah.
wasn't to do with that. It was for something else.
Okay. Well,
So-
So I mean, you tell me what you want to do.
Probably shouldn't do that here because so long as I'm in his realm, he'd know about it.
And wasn't there something about spells go weird here anyway?
Yeah, that's pretty.
They are floating in the air after all.
Yeah.
So what that's all about.
Yeah. So
can you
All right.
legend lore that non-book floppy thing?
well, that's also why I wrote it down. I was going to look that up too.
I hope you wrote it down as non-book floppy thing.
All right. So are you're doing what? You're heading back to the mansion, or?
Yeah, we got to tell Melicanth what we what we learned that we gave up some stuff. Unfortunately, also the arm.
Yeah.
Or a little nerd.
We made some deals.
Well, you've also made a promise that, for example, if you guys help Melicanth save the universe,
We have to make her forget it.
She doesn't need to know that right now.
Yeah, I'd be okay with killing her. So I'm not sweating that.
What?
Just round up a big pyre of
Yeah.
Zorath, Melicanth, and Jinxie and let her all on fire. We're good.
Finally,
Including
came
all of our
around.
guests.
You get to kill Melicanth, we get to kill Zorath.
I mean, if she doesn't agree to come back and get wiped, then
all right.
I'm
Well,
not gonna have a choice.
so
dark.
I think then perhaps that we're going to call it a close here. The party feeling perhaps a little bit ambivalent about the deal that they just made, having gotten some crucial, important information, of course, but at what cost? At what cost? And we'll have to find out soon, next time on So Many Levels. But it won't be next week because I'm going to be in South Korea for another month. So,
Oh,
In May on so many levels.
yes,
Kazan, cheers to your success.
yes, and good on you guys for managing to make it through that without combat and getting some real big deal secrets. And for that, you guys are all level 15 now.
I think, is this the first episode that we did no rolls whatsoever?
We had rolls.
I
I made
made a
some rolls.
persuasion roll earlier.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
there
That
was
was
a
about it.
persuasion, and there was investigation roll too.
Yeah.
No.
But
Crazy.
certainly no combat.
Nope.
Time to delete the Awakened Iron from my inventory list.
Yeah,
See how that goes. How do I even delete that?
Oh, you just remove it from you just manage the inventory and you can remove it.
Down at the bottom,
There you
there's
go.
a thing. Yeah.
Well, at least we still have a god in a bottle. We can take out the Obelix, or not Obelix, the whatever the thing with the
You don't
eyeball
remember
was.
anymore.
Remember he's a god. Okay.
Assuming that it would be powerful enough.
I'm sorry, my brain is just blown. Y'all. It's opening.
I can't believe Archie gave that up. Like I'm shocked.
That was a
Like, of all the
twist.
things.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. All right, well, so we're going to leave it there. Thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching, especially those of you watching us live in chat. We love you. Thank you. And I'll be streaming other things probably when I can from Korea. And we might do some Saturday things. But otherwise, we'll be back when we can for more adventure on so many
levels.
Levels.
So many levels.